So I am going to go ahead and get started. How are we doing? I lied. I was going to get started and I have a text from my 12-year-old. So let me make sure she's not dead and then we'll start. Oh, it's a math question. She can wait. All right. Okay, so today we are here for growing your SOI through Facebook. I give this disclaimer before every single one of these trainings, and that is the goal of this is for people who are really interested in really leaning in on Facebook. If you are a casual Facebook user, if you are not looking to really lead gen through your social media, then it is okay to learn this model and then let it pass you by. That's really fine. I am going to be releasing a lot of these 30-minute models. I did Instagram last week. If you're interested in that model, it is on our YouTube channel. This week I'm doing Facebook. I'm going to take a little break while I do my transition into the regional tech trainer position, and then we'll bring these back up again. So if lead gen through Facebook doesn't sound like something you're really excited about leaning into, don't feel like you need to do this. There's going to be another model that's going to fit you better. Please don't try to do everything I train you on. The goal is to give you lots of choices so that you can pick the thing that is most exciting to you. I sat down and had a conversation with one of the agents in our office yesterday, and we were talking about that exact thing. We were talking about what does she really enjoy doing and how can we help make that a lead generation source. It's not about trying to muscle your way through something you really don't enjoy. That's not sustainable. This is a business where you can be successful doing things you really love doing. So if you don't really love interacting with people via the internet and social media, then that's okay. There are a lot of in-person options. There are a lot of other things that you can pursue. So just because I'm here and I'm teaching it and it works does not mean it's going to work for you. That is the disclaimer on any and all models. Do we have any questions before I get started? Excellent. All right, so today we are talking about growing your SOI through Facebook. This is one of those systems that is very simple, but not very easy, if you know what I mean. Meaning, I'm going to teach you the steps, and if you do the steps, you'll get the results. And doing the steps requires a obsession with consistency, is what I'm going to say. So these are the steps that we're going to walk through today. We're going to talk about the rules of engagement. That's the what do I post, when do I post it, how do I exist in the internet space. 2, we're going to talk about using that as leverage to help you build a community. And 3, we're going to talk about ways that you can connect the digital world with the physical world. This is kind of what I like to call Grow My SOI Part B. You can be really successful if you don't integrate this piece, but I think it makes a big difference in your business. And then we're going to talk about the results of growing your database. So this is the most important slide of the day. Usually in these, I attach kind of a one-sheet PDF at the end of class that you can take with you. For this particular training, I actually combined 3 different systems that I had to make something that I felt was the most clear and user-friendly. That being said, I don't have a one sheet for it. So my suggestion to you would be take a picture of this particular slide. If you take nothing but this slide home with you today, you're going to have everything that you need. So these are my rules for engagement. When you think about posting on social media, I don't want you to call it posting on social media anymore, because what that can lead to is us posting and ghosting, meaning I'm going to post things on the internet because that's my job and then walk away. And that is not accomplishing the purpose that you're setting out to do. What you are doing is creating engagement opportunities. So that's how I want you to think about your social media posting moving forward. I am creating an opportunity to engage with people. So it's the same thing when you pick up the phone and make a phone call. You're not calling to check making a phone call off your list. You're calling in hopes to engage with somebody. Social media needs to be the same way. It's just a louder voice to more people, right? It's not one-to-one, it's one-to-many. And your goal is still the same. I want to create an engagement opportunity. So when you go at it with that mindset, you know that you're not just posting to post, you're posting with the intent that I'm going to respond to comments, I'm going to send direct messages, all of those things. Anything you're doing on social media is an opportunity for engagement. Now, here's the nuts and bolts of this particular model. You are going to post to your social media at least 10 times a week. The goal of this is to do 80% hyper-local personal value. Here's what I mean by hyper-local personal value. A good example would be, here is the high school football game schedule for Enumclaw School District. Erin and I live in Enumclaw School District, so that works for us. But here are restaurants in our local neighborhood where kids eat free. And here's the days that kids eat free, right? That is hyper-local and it's of value to the consumer. Anybody else have an idea of another hyper-local personal value touch? I was an educator for a long time. I'm real good at sitting in silence.
Just maybe current events of what's happening in our area that week, like free local concerts, different things like that.
Absolutely. Being the community expert. So being able to say, right, like, this is the farmers market's happening. Here are the vendors that are there. You know, here is a local concert, you know, concerts in the park at summertime. What else?
School board meetings.
School board meetings. That's a great one. I hadn't thought of that.
They're boring, but you know.
But they're important.
Yeah.
Someone give me one more and I'll move on.
Road closures or something, like we have our exit being closed right by our neighborhood, and then a new sidewalk being put in to the school.
That's great. And for the record, super important and timely because they're closing all of my roads all the time. And I drive by the sign that warns me that it's going to happen. And then the day that it's closed, did I remember? Of course not. A social media reminder would have been lovely. Yeah. Those are all great examples of hyper-local personal value, right? Because if I know that you're going to tell me about things that I care about, I'm way more likely to look at your posts, interact with your posts, comment on your things, right? The other 20%, that's business promotion. And not what I don't mean is you always have to post like, hi, I'm a realtor, please do business with me. That's not what I mean. But that's your market updates, your listings, your open house invitations, your reminders that, hey, I am in a business and I'm, as much as I'm your resource about community stuff, I'm also your resource for all things real estate. So 80% community focused, and then 20% business focused. This particular model, she always posts in the morning because that gives her the opportunity to engage all day. It gives a lot of people the opportunity to see it whenever they log on, and it gives her the opportunity to comment on it all day. This is a little different from other business page to answer your question, Erin. This is different from models that I've heard in the past where you kind of look at the algorithms on the back end, the insights on the back end of Facebook and see when your consumers are on and post then. But I see the logic in her model when we're looking at opportunity for engagement, because anytime anybody comments on her post, she's going to comment back. And the longer that thread happens, the more Facebook's pushing it out to people's news feeds. So it is actually going to show up all day long, as opposed to if you're just kind of posting and walking away, you have to really try to catch people when they're online. So I see the logic behind this model if you're going to engage with the posts. Any questions about what to post, when to post? Hi, Guru. And kind of the logic behind this piece.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
if most of our people are on our personal page and not on our business page,
Mhm.
and you're saying post this to your business page, suggestions on how we move our personal people
Yeah.
over to our business page?
Yeah. You're going to start by posting to your business page and sharing to your personal, and doing that consistently, because that's where your audience currently is. And then as people start engaging with those posts more, you're going to start to put out the messaging like, hey, more of this is available if you follow my business page. I'm going to try and keep my personal life separate from this community interest stuff. So if you really are enjoying this content, go over and like my business page. And then you're going to slowly, as you see the audience transition, you can also transition how much originally you're going to share everything, right? And then maybe you'll share a few posts a week, but not everything. And that's going to motivate people to go over and like the business page. And then eventually, if you get to a point where those audiences even out, you can stop that crossover altogether. But it is a bit of a process. Jess.
Yeah. So, oh, geez.
You're good.
Sorry for the reverberation here. A great way to do it is when you set up your business, you can invite your friends.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Inviting your friends to like your business page is a great way to go about it also. But also understanding you want to share why, like what's in it for them, right? Give them the woofum. Why do they want to come follow your business page? It's not just to support you because you're their friend. It's because you're providing value there. So do yourself a bit of a favor and build up a little bit of posting on your business page first that proves there's a reason for them to go like it. But absolutely. Next, we have add 7 new friends weekly. Now you're going to see that with any social media system, you have to add more people. It's just like any other database. You have to continually add people to it. So you'll see that that's a piece of this as well as it was in the Instagram one last week. This is accomplishable a lot of different ways, right? Reconnecting with your sphere. This is a great one. Look through your real estate database, right? Who are you not Facebook friends with? Who has done business with you in the past that you're not Facebook friends with? And go find them and reconnect, right? That can be a great touch. You can go through when you're doing your DTD2s or your quarterly calls or however it is that you're systematically reaching out to your database and see how many of those people you are not connected with on social media and make that connection. That's a great option. And that's already someone you're in relationship with. Also, for the record, if you put their Instagram ID or their Facebook URL in your command database, it will improve your database health score. You get 2 whole percentage points for a social media URL. Reconnecting with old friends. This one's a given, right? Like I know I was an early adopter of Facebook. I was on Facebook when you still had to have a .edu email address in order to participate. And I was a college student when it came out. And Facebook was a great way for me to find people I went to high school with who I'd completely lost contact with. I went to a very small high school. I was actual friends with everybody I graduated with. It was great to be able to re-find those people. Facebook is great for that. So don't be shy of that opportunity. Also, use the creepy stalker piece, people you may know, right? We all know that Facebook knows people we may know better than we know people we may know. So use that, right? I know that I get a lot of friend requests every day from other agents and other brokerages, from lenders and mortgage companies. They're all playing this game and I'm happy to play with them, right? Like I'll like their stuff if they're like mine, and we'll, grow our databases together. That's fine with me. And then this is an important one that we sometimes miss. People we meet in real life. If you're going to lean into Facebook as a building of your SOI source, then make sure you're friending people you meet in real life. You're all real estate agents, which means you all enjoy talking to human beings. So make sure you continue that relationship online. You meet somebody, you have a good conversation. Make sure that you add them as a friend on Facebook. Any questions about who we're adding, how we're adding those rules?
I know that you have to make them your friend first in your personal account before you can invite them to your business account.
Mhm.
The issue I'm getting is I got all these people in my personal account now. I have that are agents and mortgage people. That I have no idea who these people are.
That's
at all.
okay. We're going to talk about actually how you can engage with those particular people. So I'll get back to that here in just a second. But those are referral opportunities, right? Which is what we're going to talk about. So I'll get to that for sure. And I frankly think that the reconnecting with your sphere, people you meet and people in your past, those are the better options versus, you know, sending requests to people and not knowing who they are. When I say use that people you may know feature, I'm more talking about like people you didn't think to think of that you actually do indeed know or have some kind of a like 1 degree of separation connection with outside of real estate. Any other questions before I keep moving? Cool. Okay, you are going to engage with 75 plus people per week. Here is what counts as an engagement. Anything above a like, okay? So likes, hearts, sad faces, happy faces, you're giving those out for free, okay? 75 engagements means you're going to stay TCPA compliant. Now I can't get sued, okay? Commenting on posts. Yeah, at least a sentence. You have to give them at least 5 words. It makes the algorithm happier. Okay, so really engaging in a sincere and take interest kind of way. That means you're not just going to say, hey, I love that. You know, if you're going to ask a question, because if you ask a question, they just might answer it, right? You're going to you're creating engagement opportunities. You're going to add value to a post. Maybe they said something and you have something of value to add. Those are all options, but engaging in a meaningful way in the comments. The next is sending a direct message. That goes a long way. Let's say I posted, my kids started school on Monday. If they were still of an age where they'd let me post pictures of them on the internet, I would have, and said, you know, it's our first day of school. I'm a homeschool parent. It's weird. I get it. A comment on my post about the first day of school is great, but a DM asking questions about homeschooling or telling me, you know, that's weird and interesting and cool, or something a little more specific showing you took that extra time to take interest, that's going to spark a conversation and build your relationship with that person. That's a great high level touch on the internet, is that taking that extra step to DM them, but it's all about taking interest in what they're doing. It's not about DMing them for what you are hoping to gain out of it. Does that make sense? We're doing a lot of depositing so that when that person is ready to do business, you can then withdraw from that account, right? But engaging with your SOI on Facebook is a lot about making deposits. What can I do for you, right? And then participating in groups. We're going to talk further about how you can utilize groups to build your business. So I'm going to kind of skip forward from that right now. And the last thing is encourage agent referrals. You're all talking about business pages, how you have them and how it's hard to get engagement. Wouldn't it be great if, you know, I'm going to use Ashley because I can see her. If Ashley hopped on Heidi's Facebook page and just said, hey, I really like your listing. That's really beautiful. You're doing a great job. Would Heidi not feel wonderful that like somebody acknowledged she's doing great, right? Or maybe Hillary posts a listing in a mobile home park, and maybe then Rebecca, you know, reaches out to her and says, hey, I've never done a mobile home listing. If I ever needed help with like the ins and outs of that process, would you be willing to help me? Yeah. That would be a great high level touch, right? And being able to have those conversations agent to agent, what that's going to do is build out your opportunity for referral business, right? People do business with people they like. That's the same agent to agent as it is agent to client. So don't discount, you know that every agent's on Facebook. Don't discount that option. It's the same with, you know, a lending partner or any of those other ancillary real estate services. Like if you show an interest in what they're doing, if you engage with them and ask questions, they're going to remember you and they're going to refer you business. Make sense? Cool. Again, create personal conversations and connections before asking for referrals. Do not have agent breath, please and thank you. I would love us to have the reputation of being the really nice people on the internet. I don't want to hear, you know, those Keller Williams people, they're always looking for business online. I see them everywhere and they've got commission breath. What I want to hear is, you know what? Those KW agents are all over the internet and they are so darn helpful and knowledgeable. That's what leads to business that is long lasting. That's what leads to good connections in your database. Make sense? Cool. All right. Has everyone taken a screenshot of this slide? Because I am moving on.
Crystal,
Okay,
I
I'm
have a
waiting.
question. Crystal, I have a question for you really quick.
Yep.
For your encouragement agent referrals, are you considering that part of your 75 or in addition to your 75?
I'm a glutton for punishment, so I would count it as an addition to my 75. But you know, make your own choices.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, can I click past this slide? Okay. All right, let's talk about building a community. So if you only do step one, if you only do that first page, you're going to be in a really good place. Here's the math on that first thing. You're going to post 52 times a week. You are going to add 364 new friends. You are going to engage with 500, or you're going to make 520 personal posts to your page and engage 3,900 times if you do the math. If that doesn't make a difference in your business in a year, something went terribly wrong. Okay.
Those numbers they're not on this
They're
slide.
not. They're on my little piece of paper. But I can
Okay.
I can put the numbers in the chat if that would make you happy.
I think so, because I came in a little late. My dog has been ill. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, thank you. So I missed, maybe you said it earlier and I just didn't get it. So
I didn't. So if you follow the system of the posts schedule from that first page, you are in 52 weeks, you will have added 364 friends. You will have posted 520 personal posts made, and you will have engaged 3,900 times. I would venture to guess most of you are not going to make 3,900 phone calls this year. So think about that. You're engaging with 3,900 people over the year. If that doesn't make a big difference in your business, then we need to talk about what you're saying to people, because it should, right? Adding 364 friends, think of that as adding 364 people to your database, right? What difference would that make in your business if you were to add 364 people this year? Yeah, so that's how we need to think about it. Make sense? Thanks for stopping me and making me slow down on that. So if that's all you do, I give you an A, okay? You want extra credit? Here we go, extra credit. Engaging with groups. This is building a community. You can do this by joining existing Facebook groups or creating your own. Let's talk about both. First of all, let's talk about joining Facebook groups. Join things that are local to you. Join groups that align with your personal interests. Again, this is not about doing things that make you want to pull your teeth out. Engage with people you like, right? Mark King is the president of our company. His main lead gen source when he was in production was golf, because he likes to golf. So he golfed 4 times a week and he took out different groups every time he went. And that was his lead gen source. You are allowed to make money doing things you enjoy. So that translates to Facebook also. Join Facebook groups of things you're actually interested in engaging with, because that's sustainable. That's something you're going to do. And obviously be local, right? Like you don't want to join the Facebook group in Timbuktu. That's probably not going to help grow your business. Like join it if you want, but not as a lead gen opportunity, right? These groups, either way, should align with groups to align groups to personal, align groups to personal interests. They should be something you're interested in doing, right? You should always come from contribution. That means, again, we're making deposits, right? You're not in these groups asking for business. You're not in these groups asking for referrals. You are in these groups adding value. Here is what I can bring, which is helpful if you're in a group that you have a personal interest in, or in a community you have personal interest in, because then you're going to have something to add, something to share. Interact frequently. Yeah, join a group and not participating, not particularly helpful. Nurture the group, grow the group. That means, right, same thing. We're making deposits. We are making sure that this is a thriving community so that other people join it. We're inviting other people to join. I'm a part of the Maple Valley community page. I know a lot of agents in our area are as well because I see you there. But it's a huge place of value. I got added to it because someone was like, hey, you want to know where all the food trucks are? Here's the group. They're going to tell you where the food trucks are. You know, you want to know what's happening in the park? They're going to tell you. Like, so making sure that the groups that you're in have value and you're helping grow those communities. And then reward the active referrals to your business. So as you're engaging with these groups, when people do the things that help grow your business, reward them. Reward them privately, send them a thank you note, throw in a gift card, you know, whatever, and reward them publicly. Like, hey, I just really want to thank so-and-so for sending that referral. This was a great human being. I love getting to work with them. Public and private. Yeah. Creating a Facebook group. Don't just create a Facebook group because this post told you to create a Facebook group. You got to do some research first. Because again, we're depositing value. Everything we're doing on Facebook is about depositing value. So the first thing you're going to do is evaluate what already exists in your community. Don't recreate something somebody's already doing. If somebody's already doing it, go jump in that group and do it really well with them. Okay. But look for gaps. What is a group that doesn't exist that would be of value in my community? If you can't find it, make it, be it. Define the mission and the vision for the group that you create. That means have a purpose. It is really easy to create a group and then not know what to do with it. So before you go making a group, make sure you know why. What's your purpose? What's your vision? How are you going to interact with this group? And then provide opportunities for people to interact with the group and meet and interact face to face. If this is extra credit, if creating groups is extra credit, the next step is VIP expert. Okay, so again, you can stop here. Make groups, interact with groups, do that really well. If you want to take it to the next level, that's where we're talking about connecting the digital with the physical. And that is taking those communities that you create online and bringing them to an in-person event. Okay, so this is the quick and easy 7-step breakdown on how to create an event. Okay. Step number 1, you're going to set a theme for the event by answering the question, what problem or informational gap is my community experiencing right now? Again, look at this. This is what can I give to you, right? What's in it for them? Why should they come to my event, right? Number 2, partner with a local charity for the event to receive the registration fees as a donation. There's a few reasons why. 1, people love to help the community. 2, it's like good to be a nice human being, and why not? 3, if you collect a registration fee, people are more likely to actually show up because they've paid for it. And like you get to use that fee to help the community, which people love to do. 3, establish the registration fee for the event. Figure out how much it's going to cost you to put it on, figure out how much you're hoping to donate, how many people you want to come. Make the rules. Okay. The next step's real simple. Hold the event. Yeah, there's a million ways to do that, which is why we're not going to get into this. Is not a how to hold events training. You ever want to know how to host an event? I am an event coordinator in my other life. I'm happy to help. So conduct the event. Number 5, build value back to the charity by holding time for a representative to speak at that event. Again, this is also, if you do this really well at a high level, again, for me, it's just like, I just like to invest in the community. So this would just make me happy. But also on like a selfish level, if I'm inviting them to come speak, they're going to invite people. They're probably going to invite people that weren't in my sphere, that weren't in my list, and I get to build my database some more, right? So yeah, to me, that's a no-brainer. After the event, make sure you give the donation to the charity. That's important. And then continue to foster relationships through online and in-person community. So that's wash, rinse, and repeat, right? So you came to my event, you may have people there who aren't engaged in your online community. So you make sure they're engaged in the online community before you leave. You give them plenty of opportunity to do that. Then you continue to engage online, and then you create the next event and you repeat the cycle. It's that simple and that difficult. Questions? I promised to have you out of here at 11:30. I went 3 minutes over. That's not bad for me. I will hang around and answer all of your questions.
These trainings are going to be loaded up to the YouTube channel?
Yeah, the Instagram one's already there, and this one will be up as soon as Goldie gets it all cleaned up and posted.
Awesome. And then side note, would you be interested in hosting a class about hosting events?
I would love to do an events class.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
Okay.
Let me get through the next few weeks of transition.
Yes.
And then do me a favor and bug me via email that I said that I wanted to do that. And we'll figure out how and when to get it on the calendar and what that could look like. Because I'd be happy to do that.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put that on my calendar now.
Perfect.
I have a question for
I
you.
love hosting events. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do a lot of wedding and event coordination. Jess, the
Love that. Cool. Thank
RBN
you, Crystal.
Facebook page or YouTube channel is, I think it's RBN now. Let's go find it together, shall we? We've renamed it a few times. Anyone know what our Facebook page is? This is not
Facebook
helping.
or YouTube?
YouTube, sorry.
It's okay.
What happens
I
when I've
think-
been teaching Facebook all day?
I thought it was that. I'm loading it right now. Yeah, RBN training. How did I do that? I just went.
There it is. RBN
RBN
training
training
channel.
channel.
I will put the URL in the chat. There you go. So yeah, all of our training is available here. I don't know where this particular call will end up when we relaunch it. I don't know if there is a regional YouTube channel and that's where this will go, but I will make sure that you know. Also, I just realized I DM'd that link, which is not helpful to the rest of you. There we go. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Crystal. If we've had a page, a community page, can we turn that community page into a group?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know. I'll do some research, find out. Cool. Any other questions? I am happy to hang around as long as you all need me to.
I'll need to rewatch the first part of the class. So I just did, if it, so it'll be on this one, the RBN training channel? Okay, perfect.
And I'll try and let everybody know when it's up. I'll try and post it on our internal Facebook page when it's live. For those of you in other market centers, I will make sure that your MCTTs have the link to the video as well. So that everybody has access. Last time it only took her like 24 hours to get it up. So cool. Well, again, I will hang out if anybody's got any questions, but y'all are free to go. Thank you so much. All right, if no one's got anything, I'm going to end the Zoom unless anyone's got a question that they just hadn't asked yet. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.